Hello, this is Shelley with Putnam County District Library again. Today we're going to look at the conferencing software, Zoom. This is a software that you've heard lots about, and today when we look at this, we're going to begin just like if you are a first-time user. So I have in front of me the actual website for Zoom. And I am going to go to the sign up because it is, as it says, free. And I'm going to click on that. And when I get to this, I have to put in a birthday. You have to put in a birthday because they're checking to make sure that you are over the age of 13 is the issue. So I'm going to just randomly here pick a birthday and continue. And then you have the option to either put in what would be your work email. You can do the SSO sign in, a Google or a Facebook. I'm going to use Google because I'm going to sign in with the Tech Questions Google account. And it's going to create this account for me. So I'm going to go ahead and say create. And now I have in front of me the actual what a Zoom page would look like. Now I have already pre-installed. I've been using and have used Zoom in the past. So if not, I would have been prompted and I would have had to have installed Zoom. And so I'm going to go ahead and close these up here. So I have the options here that I can host a meeting or I can join a meeting. When I host a meeting, I would then be sending out the information for others to join. If I myself am joining a meeting, I would have either received a link or I would have received what is called an ID that I would need to be typing in. So I'm going to go to schedule a new meeting. Okay, we are at where you would be scheduling a meeting. So I've typed in topic and just typed in library. This would be my date, my time, my duration. Notice that the free option is a 40-minute time limit, and you may only have 3 or more participants. So if this is something that you think you're going to use in terms of a business setting where you're going to have many more people involved, you would have to look at the upgrade, and there would be that fee involved there. You're going to want to set your time zone, and you could, if you had, say, every Monday morning you're going to run a meeting time, you could make it reoccurring. And then this would be the code, the passcode that you would give to the participants. There is the option that they can join before the host, and this is probably one of the biggest features, is making sure that you can make it that the participants are muted when they enter. That becomes very important because a lot of people do not realize that they are not muted while they're in the process of waiting. And what you will find with Zoom is it's always going to jump to the location where the last noise and sound was made. So people do want to have that muted when you're doing conference type calls. I'm going to go to host a meeting right now so that you can see more about the features. When you go to host a meeting, you can host a meeting with your video off, video on, or the screen sharing only. I'm going to just go here to host with video on. This is what's going to pop up. As I stated earlier, I believe if you have never used Zoom before on the machine the first time, it would make you download it. Here I have the option of I can just click on Open Zoom, and then it's going to become visible here. And then you can see what happens is I have the option of join with my computer audio, and I can test my mic. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. I'm going to I close this up because it's still got the other one before. Now I'm going to go ahead and hit cancel here. The video. So if I click here on stop video, it goes to what is the icon that I have because I joined through Google. So that's why I show this. If whatever I have as my image there with my profile, that's what you're going to see. So then I'm going to turn the video back on. I have this security. The security, what this does is this is very handy, especially if you're dealing with anything where you might have classes and other people involved that you don't want to allow them to rename themselves. This allows them to unmute themselves. This allows the chat, anything that is checked here. If I clicked here, they could share their screens. This is what I talked about when I was setting up a meeting, where you could allow them to sit in like a waiting room and wait until you begin. And you can lock the meeting so you could stop everything. The next button this has the participants, which every time I click it just jumps because I am the only participant. You can see the number right there. Chat, this allows you to communicate with the individuals. You can see that over here to the side. The other handy thing here is notice this is down below where it has file. So if I wanted to attach a file that I might have and I wanted everyone to be able to get to that file, I would do that at that location. Record is very handy to have if you are going to have a Zoom meeting and you know, for example, that not everyone can be in attendance. You can record and then they could go back later. And then the reactions is simply you can give, you can clap, you can give a thumbs up. A lot of times I've heard individuals use this everyone give, a thumbs up if you understand, or something of that nature. And when they're kind of wanting to do a real quick poll with the individuals involved. And then you would simply go over here to the button on the side to end the conference. Keep in mind that the person who initiates a conference and starts the conference, that is the person that will be able to end everything. So I'm going to go ahead and say end. I'm going to end the meeting for all. Instead of just leaving the meeting, I'm going to end it. And then we are back to the screen here where I would be able to sign in and join a meeting if I were to choose. So that's kind of Zoom, and it's not a difficult conferencing software to use. And if there's ever any other questions that you might have, there is the little icon down here in the corner that you can actually send messages to Zoom themselves, and you can get some questions and answers here out to the side. Like if your camera's not working or if you can't join a meeting, these can be handy reference points for you. So hope you found this session helpful, and we will see you next week with our next conference. Hope you found this session helpful, and we will see you next week with our next topic, which will be tips and tricks with using Google Draw, which is another Google tool that is free and available with your Google account.